Brian McGillicuddy, class of 1981.
My name is Steve McGillicuddy. I'm the brother of Brian McGillicuddy. I was class of 1977, Brian's class of 1981. Anybody who knows the history of our family knows how important prep is. I mean, it's the only thing we've ever really known. In order to talk about Brian or talk about anybody, we really have to bring my father in because he instilled in us what prep was all about. My father was the first lay principal here, was a dean of discipline. He's assistant principal. He was here for 42 years. He was inducted into the original Hall of Fame before they started the Athletic Hall of Fame. As far as Bry, when he came into prep, he was 5'3", like 110 pounds. He had been a great player in Pop Warner, but then he comes to prep and there's all these big kids. And he was a running back, and he played, but he didn't play a ton. And he was a good player, and he also played baseball and basketball, the same as his son, Max.
I mean, he always played 3 sports, so I always wanted to kind of take after him, and I looked up to him playing all 3 of those sports, so just kind of wanted to be like him and try and accomplish what he did at prep.
And then by junior year, Bry grew to 6 feet, like 150 pounds. He played for Earl Lavery, who was my father's best friend. Both had gone to Holy Cross, both came to prep around the same time, so it was great for Bry to be able to play for Earl. Same thing in basketball. Bry was on it junior year, he played a lot. He was the 7th man, and then baseball season he played for Ed Rowe and was a terrific player. Now what made Bry, I think, really great about him was that he was so humble. As successful as he was, never ever, it's all about me, because my father always said, there's like a couple things I want you to do. Don't embarrass me, play hard, and don't complain. Unfortunately, I always didn't do that, but Bry did. And I think here's a story about how we never really cared about the individual awards. Baseball season came and he was tremendous and he made all daily news. His trophy from the Daily News came and it was this really huge trophy and it came broken. And instead of making a big deal about it, calling the Daily News, we just said, forget it, it's fine. You got the award, you don't have to worry about the trophy. And that's the way he was. He was just really humble.
To describe my dad, I would just say he's such a caring guy and really cares about everyone else. It's never about him, it's about everyone else. And I saw that with me playing sports. He always cared about how well I did.
Then when we get into senior year, Bry happened to have a great football season. And one of the proudest things I think my father ever had was when Earl Avery called and said Bry was voted the most valuable player of the MBIAC. Bry never came off the field. He ran the kickoffs back, he ran the punts back, he played free safety, he played wide receiver. They'd put him in the backfield sometimes, they hand him the ball, make sure he had it. And they had a tremendous season, and that evolved into him getting a scholarship to UConn.
Growing up, most kids have their favorite athletes hung up in their room, and that was the case for me, except instead of Tom Brady, I had my pictures of my dad playing football at UConn. While I've always thought my dad was the greatest, it wasn't until my own time at prep that I realized how many lives he's impacted, aside my own, and how many people admire him like I do.
One of the great things, I've had so many people come up to me and said, I came to prep because I used to come when I was small and watch your brother. And it's like he was such a great player, and it made me want to go here. That's something you don't hear every day. Like, for people to say that to you about him makes you proud of him, and it should make him feel really good because they don't always say that to that person.
Prep means a lot to our family, and I think for him, being inducted really shows all of his hard work and how much he did at prep and what great of an athlete he really was. So it does mean a lot for him, and it means a lot to our family to show that he is that good of an athlete, and it proves to me that he is that guy that everyone talks about, because I never really got to see him play, obviously, but everyone always talked about him being so good, so now I really get to see how good he really was at prep.
My name is Steve McGillicuddy.
I'm Max McGillicuddy.
And it is our honor to present my brother,
and my dad,
Brian McGillicuddy, for induction into the Fairfield Prep Athletic Hall of Fame.
Congrats, my man.